been to Buc-ee's? Has anybody been to Buc-ee's in here? Okay. All right. They have everything at Buc-ee's. They have brisket at Buc-ee's. Does anybody know what they yell when they pull out the brisket?
Meat on the board.
Close. That would be creepy. Meat on the board. We're not sure what kind, but meat is on the board. Close. It's brisket on the board. Brisket on the board. My dumbass heard shooter at the door. So the way it played out was like this. The guy said, brisket on the board! Oh no! So a third party perspective that this fatty just dropped to the floor because he was so excited for brisket. Yeah. Like my wife doesn't like going out with me. She doesn't. We've been married for a little over 10 years. And on our first date, we actually had sex and then went to dinner. Yeah. Turns out she's dyslexic. So that was cool. I think communication is important in every relationship. Don't you agree, Mike? That's why you're not here with your wife tonight. I get it. But Mike, it's important. And so recently I was trying to communicate with my wife some of my needs. I said, hey, Brittany, do you think you could talk a little more during sex? She's like, yeah, I think I can do that. So there we were going at it the next time. We were almost done. We were like 37 seconds into it. The women are laughing, but the guys were like, wow, he's a stud. Yeah, I am. I'll be giving pointers in the back after. Anyways, so there we were going to town, and she looked down at me with these big, beautiful eyes and this soft little voice, and she said, say my name! And I forgot it. I was like, Bethany, Susan, Mike. Oh, did you see how big your name in that joke was? Oh man, I'm a professional. No, me and my wife, we have two beautiful kids. We actually have three, but one's ugly as shit. It's okay, he doesn't hear these jokes. He's locked in the basement. Oh, Daddy, do you love me? No, you don't know how to blink. Get out of here, Mike. That's two, Mike. Oh, man. Sobriety going well for you. Anyways, but no, we have two beautiful kids. My daughter, she's 6 years old. She's my oldest. And Carly, that's her name, she came running into my room the other day and she said, hey, Daddy! I said, I'm sorry, what did you just do? She said, I'm talking with my nipples, Daddy. I said, please don't do that. She said, why not, Daddy? And I said, well, I'm talking with your mom's nipples and that's how you're here. She's like, oh, okay. And I was like, what if we only talk with our nipples when we're nervous or in awkward situations? She's like, that's a great idea. And I'm like, great. Like, she's dumb. She's just like her dad. Like, the other day she looked at me, she's like, Daddy, when I get older, I want to be a doctor. I was like, all right. She said, or a truck. What's wrong with you? But no, like, I don't know why my wife is with me. I really don't, because I'm adopted, and so I don't have parents, and so like I don't like it when like my wife calls me Daddy in bed. So I'm like, Daddy, I'm like, where? I started crying. It gets weird. But recently, me and my wife, we were having that time, and she looked at me and she said, Mufasa. I was like, yeah, girl, I do look like the lion from The Lion King. You're right. So I looked back at her and I went, roar! Ha ha! She froze. I said, baby, what's wrong? And she said, Patrick, I said move faster. Yeah. You can see by my shirt, we're pineapples. Upside down pineapple means what? Yeah, there you go. So me and my wife, we are swingers. She doesn't know it yet. But that's okay, because she actually has an OnlyFans page. Yeah, she doesn't know it yet. First off, let me just say this is a joke. Somebody got mad at me once and they were like, I bet your wife wouldn't like that joke. I was like, my wife helped me write that joke. And just to prove it, after the show, I will have t-shirts available. This say not a swinger. That's me as a pineapple. And if you want to prove people that you aren't a swinger, buy this shirt. This is the only serious part of my show, actually, right now, is all the proceeds for this shirt go to an orphan who doesn't have parents, helps him do his daily life, helps him do everything that he needs to do out in the real world. So,
Awesome. Yeah.
it's me. I'm not orphan. Surprise! Yeah. You guys were hoping there was a kid in Africa, weren't you? For 37 cents, you could. No, it's me. You're like, oh, never mind. No. But no, got a couple more things and I'll get out of here. I also have a son. He's 3 years old, and no one tells you this. Clap if you've got a son in here. Okay. No one prepares you for this. Good job, people who raised their hand when I said clap. Yeah, I told you didn't have to raise your hand to go to the bathroom. You can go, guys. But anyways, no one tells you this, that boys play with their penis a lot. Like he pulls that thing like it owes him money. 3 years old and he's like, hey daddy, look at this. I'm like, no buddy. And he's like, ha-ha, ta-da. I'm like, no ta-da. No ta-da. He said, why not ta-da, daddy? I'm like, buddy, ta-da means disappear. And he went, oh, ta-da. I said, no, whatever. Like, my kids are just dumb. They put me in terrible situations all the time. Like recently I went to a funeral with my kids. It was just me and my kids. I had to explain to them what a funeral was. And I told them how much I get scared of them because I watched way too many episodes of The Walking Dead. And I'm always afraid like I'm going to walk by the casket and he's going, rah, rah. But so I'm explaining to my kids what's about to happen. And okay, we walk in. And a guy walks up to me and goes, hey Patrick, how are you? I'm so nervous. It's the first thing I say. I go, huh, at least I'm alive. My daughter starts laughing and goes, ha, Daddy, she's not. I said, baby, shh, please. So I'm nervous. I'm walking up to the casket. I'm shaking at this point. My hands are shaking. I go to put a piece of gum in my mouth, and I miss my mouth. The piece of gum drops out of my mouth into the casket. I watched enough episodes of The Walking Dead to know I'm not going to reach my hand in that casket. Suddenly, as I'm about to get up the nerve, I reach in, and I feel this thing go, rah! I jump in with my daughter and just, ha, gotcha, Daddy. I said, baby, you scared me half to death. She looked at me and then looked at the lady in the casket and said, but Daddy, who scared her? I said, baby, no, that's not what I'm talking about. And she goes, what do you mean? Is she still alive? I said, no, baby, she's not still alive. She goes, oh my gosh, is he a zombie? At that point, my son hears the word zombie and starts to walk around the church going, zombie! Biting people, left and right. At this point, I just grab him by the collar and we walk out to the cemetery. I was like, you guys have to stop. We get out there, and the preacher stands up and goes, does anybody have any more final words as we lower this lady into the ground to be seen one final time, and she will be seen no more? My son stands up and yells, ta-da! I'm mortified. My daughter looks up and goes, don't worry, Daddy, I got this. I got one more joke and then I get out of here. Recently, me and my wife here having that mommy-daddy time. Parents, you know what I'm talking about? Where you lock the door for 10 minutes and you and mommy talk. Yeah. Dumb old dad didn't lock the door this time. Yeah. And so halfway through, my daughter walks in. So we decided to treat her like a T-Rex from Jurassic Park. If we don't move, she can't see us. So we were like, and it worked. She walked out. We're like, oh, thank God. Next morning at breakfast, we're sitting there. And my daughter looks at me and goes, hey, Daddy? I said, yeah, baby. She goes, why were you and Mommy's private parts all hanging out last night? Mike. I don't know about you, but I've never explained sex to a 6-year-old before. I mean, how do you explain that? So I was like, well, you see, when mommies and daddies love each other, they love to hold each other, and they love to cuddle, and they like to make sure that there's nothing in between their love. Thank you. My daughter looked at me and goes, I thought you guys were fucking.